Hello, friends and countrymen and lovers.
Lovers? Sino ba yan?
Sabi ni Brutus. Pads nun, nandito na naman ang ating resident love expert or resident psychologist pala
Psychology. Si Francis ang love expert eh. Umalis eh. Umurong, gumano no.
Men's health or prostate expert natin na si Doc Luke. So, ang ating intro is friends, romance, countrymen, and lovers. Kasi ito is speech yata. Speech ba ito ni Brutus? Oracle ni Brutus ito. No?
Mamalay ko.
Eto Brute.
Oo.
Ides of March.
Kasi nagkakausuhan ngayon ng traiduran. Although tapos na tayo dun sa usapang betrayal. Ayun, lapit ka sa mic. Yun nga, wala akong mic ngayon. Testing lang muna itong aking audio dahil anyway, ang pangit ng intro tuloy ngayon. Ang dami nangyari last week. By the time of this recording, ang dami nangyari. May mga lumipad sa ibang bansa, tapos may mga hinahanap na alam mo naman ang ayaw magpahanap, hindi nahahanap. Kaya kahit hanapin mo yan, talagang nagtatago yan. Hindi mo talagang mahanap.
Yung mga nagtatago.
Mga nagtatago pala, hindi pala nagtatago. Nagtatago. Kaya yung mga nagkakauwian, yung mga nagkakaalisan.
May mga sumisigaw ng bring him home.
Yan. Yung mga bring home natin. Dati kasi lumpia lang ang alam natin na
bring home.
Gusto nating i-bring home. Ano bang pag-uusapan natin ngayon na Pads nun?
Hindi ko na nga rin alam kung ano pag-uusapan sa dami ng mga bring home. Hindi, sakto. Next week ay Holy Week. So, ang topic natin for this episode siguro, napapanahon, laging hindi kumukupas, no? Idolatry, no? So, ano nga ba ang mga modern na mga Diyos-Diyosan? Anyways.
Idol.
Ayun, idol. Boss. Boss daw siya eh.
Patay.
Kaya po welcome po ulit. Ito po ulit si Lennon.
Ito po si Russell.
At ito naman po si Luke.
At ito ang Tamang Usapan.
Usapang. May
tam.
Ayan, sakto mag-Holy Week eh. Kaya, di ba, pang-ilan nga ulit na yon sa Ten Commandments, no? Pang-ilan yun? Sel, review, exam. Pang-ilan ang you do not worship any other.
You shall not have
Thou shall not
have other gods besides me, di ba?
Yan.
Other than me. The first
Gods of
commandment.
Egypt.
Unang commandment, pare, no? Bakit, no, siyempre, dahil medyo theological pala yung topic natin. Gusto ko balasubas, pero
mamaya yun.
Mag-Holy Week na. Pads,
Passion
bakit
tide.
yun ang number 1 na commandment? Ano ba theological foundation? Bakit hindi sinabi muna ng Diyos na kita-kita tayo sa Sabat ha? Sabat muna tayo. Kaya bakit hindi naging commandment ng Diyos na sige, unity tayo, magkaisa muna tayong lahat?
Kasi yung unity na yun, magmumula yun kapag meron ka munang unity ng Diyos, no? Kapag meron ka munang isang Diyos. And this is one of the most important na minana natin actually sa mga Hudyo, yung ating monotheism, no? That there is only one God. Now, yung evolution nun, yung mga panahon nila Noah, yung mga panahon na yan, hindi technically yun monotheism, no, na meron lang iisang Diyos para sa lahat, para sa buong mundo. Rather, I forgot the term, pero they believe that there is only one God for the people of Israel, tapos may ibang Diyos din, yung ibang mga pueblo. Tapos pag naggera kayo, ibig sabihin it's a battle between gods, kumbaga. However, as the faith of the people of Israel and later on as Christians evolved, no, we discovered that there is only one God, the foundation of all creation, the creator of all, he who governs everything, no, sa cosmos. So wala na ibang Diyos. So yun yung foundation. Kaya yun din yung unang commandment. Kasi everything comes from that, no? That realization of God as the foundation of everything else. As God as the only God, no? That is why one of the most ancient, no, of sins ay yung idolatry. That is believing and worshiping false gods or idols nga. Idols, no? So yun yung isa sa pinakaluma at pinaka-primordial, kumbaga, na kasalanan ng tao. That is worshiping other beings that is not God. One of the kayo ang magano naman, isa sa maaaring sabihin sa atin ng mga kapatid nating hindi Katoliko, kayo mga Katoliko, may mga santo kayo eh. So, sinasamba nyo sila, idolatry yun. Idolatry nga ba yun?
Well, sa mga ganyang tanong, of course, kung doctrinal, walang mas makakapag-shed ng light dyan kundi si Father Lennon. Pero before tayo tumumbok doon, dudugtungan ko lang yung intro ni Lennon and request ko si Doc Luke to further elaborate on this. Ang isa sa primordial na kasalanan nga is yung idolatry, and naalala ko lang itong dating kaibigan namin pare, si Father Nestor. Hindi niya to explicitly sinabi, pero gusto ko lang idugtong doon sa una kong tanong, bakit yun ang pinakaunang utos? Kasi yun din yung pinakaunang kasalanan na nalalabag. Sabi kasi ni Nestor Villa, alam nyo, kung titingnan nyo yung Ten Commandments, lahat yan uuwi sa first commandment. Siyempre, ako naman manghang-mangha na ako nun na, wow, bakit? Kasi nga daw, di ba? Tamang review lang tayo ng Ten Commandments kasi matagal na rin hindi naturo sa akin, o kung tinuro man, hindi ko na maalala. Pero the point is, halimbawa, huwag kang papatay. Sabi ni Father Nestor, ang tingin natin sa Ten Commandments, separate na mga batas siya na magkakahiwalay, may kanya-kanya silang domain na ito sin against the fifth commandment lang to, hanggang dito lang. Sabi niya, hindi. Alam mo ba na kapag nag-violate ka ng isang commandment, automatic bina-violate mo din yung first commandment. Kasi sabi ko, bakit pa, Father? Kasi halimbawa, huwag kang papatay. Pumatay ka. Diba? Ano ba first commandment? Thou shalt not have other gods before me. When you deliberately take away somebody else's life, are you not playing God? Kanino ba galing ang buhay? Di ba galing sa Diyos? So, in that sense, you played God and you broke the natural law, let alone the divine law. Binigay ng Diyos. Bakit ko ito sinasabi? Kasi sa panahon daw natin ngayon, ang idolatry ay hindi na nare-reconcile na natin yung parts na there are certain customs ng mundo which we really grow na nandun yun, no? So in a sense na reconcile natin, pero magandang may chinat si Father Leon kanina tungkol sa transfiguration, which can further shed light dun nga sa sinasabi bakit may mga santo sa simbahan. Pero ang point ko dito, ang greatest na idolatry na meron tayo na pinakaluma at the same time laging fresh is the idolatry of the self. The over exaltation of the self, the promotion of self more than others. And dahil dito, kaya nga sabi ko, gusto kong hingiin yung point ni Doc Luke about this, kasi sa field ng psychology, we have been placing premium and valuation sa self, no, as the something na fundamental, na without this self-consciousness, without this self-awareness, hindi natin matitake into account properly yung ating values, yung ating relationships, yung ating ethics, yung everything about us. So the main tendency, however, is the over exaltation or overvaluation of self can result in the idolatry of the self. Baga wala ka ng ibang ginagamit na standard for judgment but yourself. And ako minsan in spite of myself, Pads and Luke, minsan guilty ako dyan kasi minsan parang natural or automatic narinig ko sarili ko na kung ako yan, ganito gagawin ko. Ako kasi ganito ang ganito paniniwala ko para sa akin kasi ganito yan, ganito dapat, ganito. And may tendency na yun lang yung maging tama sa pananaw ko, but hindi there's still a universal law, no? Kanina may hearing sa House of Representatives. Ang mga resource persons ay yung mga vloggers na under question dahil apparently nga may mga allegations ng proliferation ng fake news. Tapos may isang vlogger doon na nagsabi, at the time of this recording, thank you Pats. At the time of this recording, yun nga, may hearing and about sa fake news. Tapos may isang vlogger doon na nagsabi, it's my truth, Your Honor. So that's your truth, pero I have my truth. So again, the idolatry of the self is something very tricky kasi mahirap hanapin yung delineation kung idolatry of the self ba ito or it's just the proper way of valuing or preserving oneself. So, Doc Luke, Pads, ano bang nyo dyan? Ano ba yung pwede nyo Kasi, mamaya kasi, more doctrinal naman kasi yun, yung ibang parts. Pero, gusto ko sana, as early as this part ng episode na to, inagad yung matumbok natin, yung the worst kind, in a way, of idolatry. Yun lang. Ano, Luke?
Hello. Sige, doon ako mamaya sa modern version ng idolatry. Kayo muna sa ancient
sige.
archaic.
Akala ko archives. Archaic pala.
Kasi more on ang focus kasi ng lumang concept ng idolatry, more on spiritual unlike sa modern kasi egocentric.
Mas nakakapanlin lang na. Actually, I can say na idolatry, yun yung sinasabi ni Russell, idolatry of the self. Idolatry, in all its forms, sa dulo ay egocentric Why? Because you are replacing God with an object, with another creature, or with yourself, in the service of yourself, Yun yung So there is outward talaga na obvious, kumbaga, conscious idolatry na we can find examples sa Old Testament, And then you have yung sinasabi ni Doc Luke nga, modern forms na medyo mas mahirap na siyang hulihin Kasi it seems na hindi naman siya idolatry kasi I believe in God naman eh. And later on we will see how can something, maybe your passion for a movie or a person, pwedeng mahulog sa idolatry. We will see that later. Now, dun sa sa classical or yung yung pinag-uusapan natin ngayon, so sa spiritual, sa biblical history ng idolatry. Russell has pointed out, and totoo yun, na it usually, all the time, idolatry comes from the self, no? So the idolatry of the self, especially idolatry of the self, is one of the most dangerous, no? When man becomes the measure of all things, no? Kapag ako na yung basihan ko para I am now the judge of everything and everyone, no? And that is something na time immemorial pa. So mula noon hanggang ngayon, we have the tendency to do that. Na this is my truth, no? Whenever I hear confessions, ito hindi naman to breaking of the seal of confessions, pero sa experience ko, ang isang napansin ko pag mga Pilipino yung nagkukumpisal sa akin, mayroon silang laging isang kasalanan na common sa lahat. At least yung mga dito, yung mga narinig ko, pagsisinungaling daw. So truth, no? So to address that, ang lagi ko yung naano sa kanila is that for us Christians, truth is not a concept. Truth is not a fact. Truth is a person, no? Jesus Christ, sabi niya, I am the way, the truth, and the life. So whenever we lie, whenever we peddle fake news, we are not peddling our truths. Rather, we are rejecting the truth, no? We are rejecting Jesus Christ. So at the end, that's apostasy. And when you defend that because of my truth, kasi ito yung truth ko eh, then that becomes idolatry. Because you are creating another truth, another Jesus Christ, kumbaga. Kasi yun yung truth ko, di ba? So in a way, it goes back, idolatry goes back to the self, goes back to egocentrism because it serves you. Now, nabanggit ko kanina yung posible na baka sabihin sa atin na, ay Father, ay Kuya Russell, Doc Luke, bakit yung mga Katoliko meron kayong mga santo? Di ba idolatry yun? Now, first and foremost, yung pagbasa sa idolatry as just pag-create ng sculptures, no? Likeness of man, of human likeness o animal likeness, yun na yung idolatry. No. Pwede kang gumawa ng sculpture. Walang graven images. Yeah, thank you, Russell. Walang problema dun. That's art. Even God himself. Puntahan niyo Exodus. Puntahan niyo yung details ng pagpapagawa ng Diyos ng Ark of the Covenant na tinatawag. Very detailed yun. Napakaraming images, napakaraming sculptures na sinabing maglagay ka ng cherubim, maglagay ka ng ganito, ganyan. Yung akas, yung ngayon simbolo ngayon ng medicine that came from Moses nung nagkakasakit sila sa disyerto, tapos sabi nagreklamo si Moses sa Diyos, di ba? Tapos sabi niya, sige ganito. Magano ka ng ahas, mag-sculpt ka ng ahas na nasa stick, nasa baston. Tapos lahat ng titingin doon ay gagaling. So that's now the symbol of medicine. Yun ba ay idolatry? No. Why? Kasi hindi naman nila sinamba yan eh. No? They knew what is the difference between an image representing something, a symbol, and an image that you believe is that something, no? Yun yung problema dun sa biblical, sa Old Testament. And that is why paganism, at least yung sa ancient Greece, ancient Rome, ancient civilizations, they consider their idols yung mismong sculpture, yung mga Canaanites, yung mga yan, di ba? Yung mismong sculpture, yung mismong anito, na yun ay pinamamahayan. Hindi man yun yung mismong Diyos o Diyos-Diyosan. Yun ay pinamamahayan. So may sculpture ako ni Athena. O may sculpture ako ni Venus. Di ba? So namamahay doon si Venus. Kaya dapat mag-orgy tayo sa templo niya kasi nakikita niya tayo. Nandun siya mismo sa statue at the moment. No. Yun ang false worship, no? Yun ang idolatry. Because you are certaining to a creature that is a creature in the sense na created yon through creation, kasi even though you sculpted it wood, no, you sculpted it's wood, it's a creation of God, and you sculpted it, and then now it's your creation too. So displaced yung attribution mo sa divinity. So that's the classical example. So ibig sabihin, hindi siya dahil dun sa graven images, hindi siya dahil sa likeness, no? That is not what it means ng idolatry, no? And furthermore, sa simbahan, sa atin, sa Catholicism, we have to be clear what we are talking about. Worship to God, ito gagamit tayo ng mga Greek terms, is what is called latria. Latria worship, or literally service. No? Our relationship with God is that of service. Sa Kanya lang yun. Sa Diyos lang yung latria. Now, our relationship with the saints is what is called dulia. Respect. Respect. You can respect your parents without being idolatrous. Diba? You can respect God and respect your parents. But you can only serve God. You can only worship God. Ganon din sa mga santo. Dulia. Hyperdulia naman ay para sa Birhen Maria. Sa Mahal na Birhen. Kasi nga, napaka-special niya eh. Siya mismo yung nagdala ng kay Kristo eh. Ng anak ng Diyos para sa mundo, kaya special ang Mahal na Birhen. And then, actually tama ito ang sabi ni Doc Luke dito sa chat namin. Sa classical kasi we tend to look for someone powerful. Yeah, that's true. We tend to look for models. Kahit sa tingnan ninyo, kahit hindi sa Bible, kahit hindi sa Christian literature. You have, for example, sa classical literature, Greek mythologies, you have demigods, you have heroes. Those are characters that we look up to, no? Mayroon tayong hinahanap. Ito si Luke mamaya mag-aano nito, itong mga naghahanap na parang magpo-provide ng needs, yung mga ganyan, no? So we look up to. So sa saints yan, going back, the saints, our relationship with the saints is that of respect. We look up to them as the models, no? Models of virtues na pwede rin nating ma-attain as mortals, no? It's not a relationship with your God. Kasi relationship with God is a relationship of service, no? Of a creator and a creature. It's not a relationship of a patron. Tama yung sabi ni Russell dito sa chat. Ang patron kasi patronage, di ba? Yung okay, sige. Tutulungan kita. Tapos ikaw, kapalit nun ay maging loyal ka sa akin. It's not that. Hindi ganun ang relationship with the divine. Yun ay more doon sa pag-look up natin sa ibang mga tao. That is respect. Now, going back. So that is the classical example of idolatry, no? So yung nag-manifest lang siya biblically, especially sa Old Testament. Doon nga sa mga graven images na sinasamba ng mga Canaanites, ng mga Amalekites, di ba? But it does not mean na prohibited na lahat ng sculpture, lahat ng art, no? In fact, in the temple, the first temple and the second temple of Jerusalem ay puno ng artistic symbolism. Later on na lang naman na yung Judaism ay talagang naging allergic sa human images, animal images, kumbaga sa kanilang mga sinagoga. Pero sa original, yung templo, punong-puno yun ng mga images. And that's okay because they do not ascribe to those images the same nature, no? The same elements that is only of God, no? Now, however, that's the classical one. That's the biblical one. Eto na. Ano ngayon? No? Kahit yung panahon ni Saint Paul, pagdating na ng New Testament, di ba? Sabi ni Saint Paul, may mga bagong idolatries na. Hindi na lang yung mga Diyos-Diyosan ng mga Canaanites, hindi na lang yung mga anito nila. May mga bagong forms na ng idolatry. And I think that is what we really have to talk about in this episode kasi there is a danger for us modern men and women na ma-fall dito sa mga modern forms ng idolatry, no? So I think si Russell at si Luke mamaya mas madidiscuss nila, isa-isayin natin, no, yung mga examples. Pero again, going back dun sa sinabi ni Russell, all of this falls to the idolatry of the self, no? We ascribe things that only to God, to another thing, to another being because it serves us. No, tayo yung nakikinabang dun eh. So, maraming mga forms yan. Either you worship na, actually without saying na you worship, pero you have the attitude, you have the treatment, no, of service, of worship. For example, towards a person, to a lover, or worse, hindi mo lover, political figure lang, na addict ka na dun, o topic lang na passionate ka, no? So you have to really tread the fine line between being passionate on something or someone and idolatry, no? So now we will be discussing ano ba itong mga modern manifestations nitong ancient scene of idolatry dito sa mundo natin ngayon, no? So, sinong gustong magsimula sa inyong dalawa dahil ang haba na ng sinabi ko?
Sige, ako na muna. If I may interject and tawag dito. Ayun, maganda na exposition ni Father Lennon, no, sa doctrinal, no, or more on the theological underpinnings on how we really engage in the discourse on idolatry. Pero while you were speaking, nagkaroon lang ako ng recollection dun sa studies natin ng philosophy back then. Kung maaalala ninyo, yung word na autonomy, di ba? Galing kasi siya sa dalawang Greek word na auto means the self, tsaka nomos means law. May dalawa kasing understanding sa word na autonomy based sa kanyang etymology. Una, yung talagang intent na meaning niya at the same time is the healthy one for it to be understood. Autonomous or autonomy means being self-regulated, no? Disciplined, diba? May self-control ka. Kumbaga, to be autonomous is to rule oneself. To rule your passions, to rule your emotions, to rule your thoughts, to rule your beliefs, to rule your boundaries. And by determining these boundaries, we get to respect the boundaries of others also. So something like that. But there's another understanding of autonomy na medyo related dito sa sinasabi nating idolatry of the self or worship of the self. Ano yun? Autonomous self-law, instead na self-law siya, na maging self-governing ka, I am the law. Kaya pag sinabi, I hate drugs, parang gano'n, di ba? Parang autonomous, parang I am the law. No? Tapos, from there, yun nga, yung sinasabi ko, yung personal sharing ko, the tendency to assimilate everyone to yourself, to compare their values, their beliefs, their culture, their mindset into your own, to the point na teka, hindi tayo parehas mag-isip, so either bobo ka or hindi ka nag-iisip ng tama or nasa maling side of history ka, so something like that. Diba? Parang pag hinahabol ka ngayon ng accountability, magbabanta ka ngayon na maninipa ka, di ba? Bakit ito yung naging tumbok? Kasi if you're really going to look at, sinasabi nga yung claim ni Doc Luke na bago yung, or may mga bagong muka or new forms ng idolatry, I would like to argue na in a way these are new problems quoted lang into the new context, pero it's millennia old, no? Na matagal ng issue ng humanity. But of course, for the sake of this conversation natin dito sa Tamang Usapan na episode ngayon on idolatry, yun yung isang gusto kong gawin nating pundasyon, the healthy at the same time the dangerous understanding of autonomy. Kasi yung egotism, yung egocentrism, it's the other side, and the other side is autonomy. Kasi when we say self, hindi rin natin pwedeng i-demonize yung self kasi imago Dei yun eh. Mahal ng Diyos yun, kaya nga nilikha ng Diyos yun. At the same time, kaya nga niligtas ng Diyos yun eh. Diba? With Christ. Diba? Kaya nga, the creation, the salvation, and the continuous sanctification of human beings is a self-project. It's something na universally shared by all, pero it's at the same time personal. Personal siya. Ipapasa ko na kay Doc Luke, pero yun yung parang nag-lean ko doon sa reflection ni Father Lennon. Although may tanong lang ako mamaya, ito naman to aid our listeners, Pads. Doon nga sa may nagtanong kasi sa akin na isang mabuting kaibigan at malapit sa ating mga puso. Sabi niya, paano yung how do you take account of the Nazareno Festival, the Santo Niño? Are they still venerating? Are they still simply paying respect? Or is it already a form of idolatry na kasi dapunas, then nag-aagawan, nagpapatungan, nagkakaapakan, nagkakagitgitan just to take hold of the image even for a brief moment. So, pero mamaya na natin siya balikan kung okay lang, para naman makabuelo na si Doc Luke. Thank you.
Baka mahirapang bumuelo eh.
Dami na kasi. Joke lang. Ano nga to? Ang laki kasi ng development ng idolatry mula sa concept natin on scriptures at saka sa modern day idolatry. Kasi yung nabanggit kanina ni Father Lennon, scriptural na basis, ang idolatry kasi doon more on the divine, the graven images, gods, no? Unlike sa modern day kasi, nakafocus na sa mga celebrities, public figures, no? Mga tao na. Siguro I think a lot of people idolize certain celebrities because they want to be like them, especially if they see certain traits of themselves in their favorite celebrity. Parang kasi it can be easy to think kasi na parang they're like me but better version. Na-gets nyo ba? Parang ganon. So kaya ina-idolize natin, siguro ng ibang tao yung yung certain person kasi nakikita nila yung sarili nila doon but a better version. So yung mga celebrity can also be parang scapegoat nila, no? Kasi parang may kulang sa akin. And samantalang itong tao na nakikita ko, ano siya, biglang sumakses. No? Parang gusto natin na ma-attain yung ganon.
Parang idealized version ng sarili ko.
Oo, parang ganyan. Kasi kung paano ko ma-explain? I mean, hindi ko rin alam paano ko ipapasok to. Pero sa psychology kasi, sa cluster B ng personality disorders, may iba't ibang klase.
Tandaan lang.
Kailangan ng pampadulas.
Hanapin mo lang yung entrance look, tapos may ipapasok mo rin.
Sa kasi, personality disorders, may iba't ibang klase yan eh. Sa cluster B, nandyan yung antisocial, borderline, histrionic, tsaka narcissistic. And yung idolatry kasi, more on the side siya ng narcissistic at tsaka ng borderline PD or ng personality disorder. Kasi yung sa narcissistic kasi, feeling nila superior sila or mas special kumpara sa iba. So gusto nila, naghahanap sila ng parang subordinates, no? And wala sila masyadong empathy sa tao. So need nila ng admiration. Parang may mga tao kasi na madaling madala through sa manipulation ng someone. Hirap kasi kung diretsahin ko na kaya. Halimbawa,
Di ba may binanggit ka kanina, Luke, yung parang attracted tayo dun sa sa someone na parang magpo-provide sa atin. Na yun, magpo-provide ng needs natin, ganyan.
Tsaka yung sa self na bakit itong taong to may ganito akong ugali pero siya nagagawa niya eh. Diba? Like, ako may ganito akong value, may ganito akong mentality, may ganito akong set of beliefs, pero this person can express it and not only express it, but express it eloquently. Kaya, idol ko to kasi he or she is representing me. Pag I can associate myself with this person. Kaya kapag kahit hindi ang danger kasi dito, Boss Luke, yung for example si Luke Brufar, we are almost the same in thinking in almost everything, for example, no? And halimbawa medyo charismatic leader ito si Luke Brufar, and sige I subscribe with everything kasi parehas talaga kami mag-isip. Pero there are certain points na hindi kayo parehas mag-isip eh. For example, medyo magkaiba na tayo ng belief when it comes to dignity of human life, for example. Kaso hindi eh. Nag-invest na ako sa iyo ng emotion, ng belief, nag-invest na ako ng boto, for example, kung political figure ka. Nag-invest na ako ng attention ko or ng time ko talaga for listening to you, defending you even to critics, educating other people about you. So kahit medyo hindi na tayo magkasundo ng values, ako mag-a-adjust na ngayon na for the longest time, for example, I have upheld or I have always known that the human life is something sacred, and there is a rule of law, for example, or the most basic ones na ang Pilipino ay mabuting tao, ang Pilipino ay makakapwa, makadiyos, makatao, makakalikasan. Eh halimbawa si Luke Brufar sabihin lang, hindi, dapat hindi tayo maging makakalikasan. So even for the longest time na ina-uphold ko yung ganung value, sasabihin ko, oo nga naman, i-justify ko ngayon sa sarili ko. Then I will immediately shift my values na Ayun nga naman, bakit nga naman kailangan natin mag-alaga sa kalikasan? Something like that, no? So kapag merong nakarinig nitong podcast na to, tapos ikakat lang nila yon, tapos gagawa na sila ng ibang fake vlogs, madali na tayong ma-misquote na hindi na tayo makakalikasan. Pero yun yung ano ko sana, gusto kong tumbukin doon, Doc Luke, eh. Automatically ba, meron na akong ano nun, merong dissociation ba tawag doon, or meron ba akong ano yung andun, ano yung pagtanaw dapat ng isang tao for the self muna, then ano yung tingin dito ng professional field like ng psychology, how are we going to address this, especially kung ito ay nagiging collective behavior na, collective na yung value, nagiging in a way, naging ideology na siya or collective belief na siya. Thank you.
Siguro kasi na-identify natin sa someone yung mga attributes na sa tingin natin or na-feel natin is lacking sa sarili natin, no? Lacking in our own life. Tapos parang nagfo-form siya ng attachment doon sa celebrity na yon or doon sa public figure na yon, na parang ang hirap na umalis sa echo chamber kasi na-identify ko na yung self ko na part ako, let's say halimbawa sa Swifties, part ako ng community ng mga Swifties or community ng mga Dilis. Gets yun naman siguro yan. And mahirap na
parang
na umalis
genre
doon
ng parang genre ng masamang
Parang team kadiliman o team kasamaan ka, parang gano'n.
Oh, yun. Once na nasa loob ka na ng team kadiliman or ng team kasamaan, parang ang hirap na umalis. Kahit medyo siguro alam mo na mali na yung ginagawa. Kasi na-identify mo na yung sarili mo na part na ng ganong community.
May emotional investment.
May attachment.
Actually, merong isang reflection yung isang batikang journalist natin. Hindi ko na rin pangalanan kasi medyo crucial ngayon medyo crucial yung political landscape na navigate nating lahat, no? Pero if I may just say, it is very unfair for all Filipinos na masadla tayo sa ganitong sitwasyon. Imagine a country na taon-taon hindi bababa sa 10 bagyo yung daraan, tapos tatamaan ka ng matinding tag-init, tapos tatamaan ka ng matinding tag-ulan kahit walang bagyo, tapos meron pa laging danger ng volcanic eruption, ng lindol. So napaka-prone sa natural calamities, and of course you also have your man-made calamities, and you also have disturbances in certain regions in this country. And yet, no, for the longest time, ganito yung talagang natural tendencies ng bansa natin. It's very unfair to all Filipinos, especially those who are working, who are just earning their daily bread, who are just simply dreaming to have a better life. It's very unfair for all Filipinos to experience it. Kasi kaya nga tayo, we are aiming for self-determination, self-reliance. Kasi we are trusting in the systems that have been already placed for us, for a society to work. I was saying this in the context na nawala ako actually kasi nawala rin yung internet ko. Ano ba yung din-discuss kanina ni Luke? Teka.
About dun sa
Team kasamaan, team kadiliman. Hindi, community.
Oo, yun pala, no? Ayun, sabi nga nung Vatican na journalist, no? Sabi niya, alam mo, yung itong specific communities, no? Yung mga nakikinig naman ito, although konti sila, alam naman nila yung sinasabi natin. Itong specific communities in question, na merong specific na tao na pinaniniwalaan at yun talaga yung pinagtatanggol na nila. Unfair naman sabihin, pero in a way, some of them, sige, surely or in a way, some of them, sinasamba na talaga nila yung figure na ito. Sabi ni senior journalist natin, veteran journalist, alam nila na mali. Alam nila kapag fake news. Alam nila pag kasalanan. Alam nila kapag krimen. Alam nila talaga. But they continue to do so. Kasi they believe that's their truth. That is the truth for them. That is the right thing to do, or that is the ethical for them. Which is leading us to itong something na modern and complex na problem. We are just beginning dito nga sa staging point nga natin yung self. Tapos medyo kinorek na ni Father Lennon sa unahan yung mga common misconceptions ng idolatry against the Catholic Church para hindi tayo mag-dwell doon. Pero I am reinvesting dito muna sa so-called idolatry of the self.
Yun nga, no? Doon pumapasok yung idolatry. Na when we are now sacrificing the things that we believed in, that we know what we know as right and wrong, na binabago na natin yun, tinatanggap na natin yung bagong narrative ng ating idol, doon magiging idolatry yun eh. Why? Because it's only God who can assign what is right and wrong. And our minds, of course, rational as we are, we can grasp what is right and wrong. Now, if you deny what is rational, anong sinasabi sa'yo ng reason mo, and then later on, you ascribe to another person, to another being, yung power to say what is good and what is not, what is excusable and what is not excusable, then you are really robbing God of his office, of his duty. Yung trabaho niya yun eh. Yung pag anong tama at mali, tama bang pumatay ng tao o hindi. Ang collateral damage ba ay mabuti o hindi. Alam natin, rationally, di ba? Alam natin yung sacredness of life. Alam natin na collateral damage is never excused. Pero kapag nakarinig ka na okay, ano lang yan, collateral damage lang yan for the greater good. Baka kailangan mo na mag-isip, baka naman baka iba na yung sinasamba mo. Although, nagsisimba naman po ako, Father, kada linggo. Nagpo-post nga po ako ng Bible verses. Yun nga, nagpo-post ka ng Bible verses, nagsisimba ka, baka out of tradition na lang yun. Tapos iba na talaga yung iba na talaga yung iyong sinasamba. Iba na talaga yung kung nasaan yung puso mo. Again, going back dun sa first sa first commandment, di ba? Sa first commandment na sinabi, you shall not have other gods. Pagka tinignan nyo maigi, sasabihin ng Diyos doon, because I am a jealous God. Sa buong Biblia, ang laging relationship ng Diyos sa tao ay characterized, or at least using the metaphor of a marriage. Diba? Marriage. Kaya nga pag tinignan mo kay Prophet Hosea, for example, yung image nung asawa niya na nagpo-prostitute sa sarili niya to other men is actually an image of Israel going to other gods. No? Unfaithfulness in the Bible is idolatry. Again, remember, isa pang sa New Testament naman. Nung sinabi remember sa Gospel of John, nung sinabi ni Jesus doon sa Samaritan woman na nakita doon sila doon sa well, diba? Sabi niya, I know you have 7 husbands and the one you are living with now is not your husband. Hindi lang yun ibig sabihin ng husband niya. That is also referring to her faith life, no? Idolatry rin. Now, what I am saying here is that maybe you are saying, you are professing faith in God, the Father Almighty, Creator of heaven and earth, blah, blah, blah. Maybe you are posting Bible verses, pero sa kaibuturan ng puso mo, iba na yung minamahal mo talaga. Diba? Kasi you can now, pwede mo nang baluktutin yung ano eh. Yung tawag dito, yung right and wrong, yung alam mo na rational, and then you will justify it with, hindi kasi marami naman siyang sinalba. Kaya niya yan ginagawa kasi para siyang si Lalush sa Code Geass. Sabi ko, kung kailangan mo ng savior, may savior tayo pre. Hindi siya pumatay eh. Ang dami niyang niligtas pero hindi siya pumatay eh. Pinako siya sa krus, siya yung namatay. Nabuhay siya ulit tapos pinapangako niya sa atin na mabubuhay din tayo ulit kasama niya. So hindi mo kailangan ng papatay. Pero syempre, now people are very convinced, no? Kasi nga may mga nakita silang mga effects. Now, forgive me for saying this kasi nga pari ako eh. Ganyan din ang ginagawa ng mga false idols. Balikan niyo yung sa Biblia. Ilang mga mages, no? O mga priests of those false idols can perform miracles. No, sa tingin niyo ba maniniwala ang mga tao noon kanila Zeus, kanila Poseidon kung hindi sila nakakakita ng supposedly miracles ng pagbabago ng gaganap sa paligid nila? No. Although, sige sabihin natin, maybe lang yun, coincidences lang yun, tapos ininterpret lang nila yun. But then again, it's the same. No? May nakikita kayong, okay, supposedly, less crimes, kumare, di ba? Sure ka ba doon? Di ba? Una kong tanong doon, sure ka ba doon? Na talagang less talaga? O baka less lang yung nare-report? So, what I'm saying is that maybe we are idolizing a person to the point na binabaluktot natin yung sarili nating sense of right and wrong, our sense of morality. And when that comes to that point, idolatry na yon. Another sign na idolatry na yon, you know what? Kaya mo ng magtakwil ng kamag-anak, ng kaibigan, sirain yung mga relationships just for that. Religion yun eh. Ganun yung, di ba ang sabi ni Jesus nung I came as a sword, no? I came as a fire. May mag-aaway, mga magulang laban sa kanilang mga anak laban sa magulang, mga kapatid laban sa kapatid. Hindi ibig sabihin ni Jesus na gusto kong mag-away-away kayo. He's saying na when the time comes that you have to choose between faith, between God and your human relationships, you have to choose God first. Kasi ganun siya ka-importante. Now, if it is not between God and your relationships, it's rather between a politician, for example, let's say, President Luke Giuseppe Brupar. Tapos pipiliin mo si President Luke kaysa sa iyong family. What does it say? Diba? Ibig sabihin, tinuturing mo na siyang Diyos. Kasi siya na yung, siya na yung supreme good na kaya mong i-sacrifice lahat I mean, normal na magkaiba kayo ng political opinions, ng opinions sa pamilya mo. Pero, na yun? Symptomatic na yun kapag, pag nagtatakwilan na kayo dahil lang sa isang tao, isang bagay. Kasi pwede rin naman isang bagay. No? So, yun yung akin. Sige Luke, maganda tong sinabi mo dito sa chat. When does idol worship become problematic? Go.
Regarding to sa sinabi ni Sir Russell kanina about do sa sense of autonomy and sense of community.
Idolatry pag may sir pre, ka ba? Russell lang ako.
Parang babayaran no? Sir, magkano po ba pahilot?
Kasi this can be beneficial to a certain extent, no? Kasi yun nga, yung sense of community and sense of autonomy, pagka may group ka na sinasalihan, parang helpful kasi siya sa combating ng loneliness, no? And na-identify mo na marami pala kami na pare-pareho ng kumbaga iisa lang yung ina-idolize namin. Pero may question ako para sa inyong dalawa, no? Yung idolatry ba in general, good or bad? Tapos yung pangalawang question ko, yung tinype ko kanina dito, yung when does idol worship become problematic?
Ako, let me try to attempt siguro answering it from philosophy. Yung yung notion ng autonomy, kaya nga meron tayong autonomy kasi when you say idolatry kasi, it's siya eh, the way this is my opinion lang so opinionated na remark. Yung idolatry, you're placing somebody else in a pedestal, so you are trying to look up to somebody, no? Pero kapag sinabing idolatry kasi, to a superlative level. Kasi hindi mo siya idol kung simple lang yung paghanga mo. Yung kapag sinabi mo kasi idolatry, di ba? Kapag sinasabi natin sa tao, ginagaya mo manamit, ginagaya mo mag-isip, ginagaya mo manalita, kung nakanta, ginagaya mo yung tono ng boses, ginagaya mo yung tastes. So, you are trying to become like that person. So, bakit siya magiging problematic and is it bad or is it good? Obviously, it is banal. It is bad kasi una, dahil nga we're mentioning autonomy, may sarili kang isip, may sarili kang boses, may sarili kang itsura, may sarili kang pananaw, pag-iisip. Yung, di ba kay Maslow ba yung self-actualization? Yung self-actualization, kung ipiyok pa. Yung self-actualization, it leaves no room for any idolatry. Even an idolatry of the self. Why? Kasi, it's autonomy in its healthiest form. Once you met all your needs from the basis, no? From the physiological to the emotional, intellectual needs, no?
Kasi fulfilled na lahat ng needs.
Fulfilled ka. So, ibig sabihin, wala kang kailangang gayahin. Wala kailangang i-look up. Wala kang kailangang... Kasi functioning ka sa sarili mo eh. So, is it good or bad? For me, it's bad, no? Kasi, ito, very basic and very, at the same time, very fundamental at the same time, very profound wisdom from one of our lay collaborators doon sa novitiate. Nasa novitiate ako. Si Kuya Dodo. Hermenegildo kasi pangalan. Hermenegildo ba? Hindi yata. Hermi pala, Hermi. Pero hindi yata Hermi. Anyway, sorry. Nag-digress. Sabi niya, basta hindi Diyos ang naglagay, kayang matanggal ng tao yan. Si karpintero siya eh. Sabi niya, basta hindi Diyos naglagay, kaya natin tanggalin. Kasi sabi ko, mababura pa ba yung pintura? Paano ba yan? Tapos hindi pa tapos, mag-Holy Week na, kailangan ganito, na-set up na ba? Ganito, matatanggal pa ba yan? Malalandscape pa ba yan? Etc. Blah, blah, blah. Sabi niya, basta hindi Diyos ang naglagay, kaya natin gawin yan. Kaya gawa ng paraan. So, anong connection? Yung mga ganung pananaw, halimbawa, yung ganung pananaw, it's reflective of something na well-founded yung values mo, yung belief system mo, na you are not relying on somebody else's to think for you. The problem with a mob mentality, ito, namimiss natin yung point yung actual term eh. The problem with bandwagon or mob mentality, kailangan merong leader. At kailangan masustain niya yung charisma niya, yung influence niya over the minds of others. Otherwise, everything of this will collapse. So, it should be well maintained. The narrative should be there. And why is it problematic? Why is it so wrong? Kasi even upon the moment na yung leader, yung perpetrator o yung pasimuno, yung pakana nung idea na yon, mag-retract siya, magsisi siya, o bawiin niya yung sinabi niya, the damage has already been done. Somebody else will take the position, will fill the gap or fill the void, and sila na magsusustain nun. So, it's so bad to the point that talagang it's really not reflective of our indigenous values as Filipinos. At the same time, our most fundamental core Christian values of honesty, of integrity, of charity, of sacrifice, of nobility. I'm saying this kasi history will really tell us everything about this. Why communism fails? Kasi ganun, they will try to really push the idea. Then, upon knowing talaga, yung mga hardcore, pag makita talaga nila na hindi pala talaga, medyo mali pala to, they will retract, no? They will give up, and they will go back to a proper way of thinking, and yet somebody else will take the torch eh. Tapos tutuloy nila yun. Tapos ipupusya naman nila yun with a different blend. No? Ayan, para mas maintindihan ng mga ibang mga church people, parang parokya lang yan eh. Mga parish priest, mahiling magpatibag ng retablo, ng simbahan. Gusto nila, may legacy sila. Na ito, yung CR na to, si Father Leno nagpagawa nito. Kailangan may marka, hindi. Kasi kapag ganun tayo lagi mong isip na kailangan may legacy, kailangan may tatak, may trademark. We are not helping the society, the community to really grow, to really thrive. Lagi siyang magbabago, lagi. Hindi eh. Kailangan natin maging stable in some sort. Kaya nga, yun, even this medyo from the self, medyo lumalabas na tayo, collective or communal na yung approach natin. Bakit? Kasi idolatry does not only happen in the political landscape. It's happening in every institution, human institution that there is. No? May iba idol si Pope, no? To the point na idolatrous sila towards the Pope na bawal ba ang dubya? Kasi pwede mo itanong yun bawal ba ang dubya kapag pag meron ka namang sincere, honest question na gusto mo itanong na, Pope, teka, hindi ko maintindihan yung part na ito na sinabi mo. Pwede ba magtanong? Hindi. Ano ka? Traditionalist, extremist kasi, di ba? Kantist ka na hindi ka nag-iisip at gusto mo lang wasakin ng simbahan. May mga ganun. May mga ganung hardcore na lalaban sa'yo. Same naman din sa political landscape na sa Pilipinas. You're just trying to ask sincerely honest question on accountability of public officials, of certain public officials, whether or not have they really been faithful in the discharge of their duties as public officials, have they really judiciously utilized the public funds, no? Kapag sinabi natin judicious utilization of funds, wasto ba, maayos, hindi yung Tagalog na judicious, hudas ba yung pagwaldas mo ng pera? Hindi siya ganun. Pag sabi judicious, hindi siya hudas na pagwaldas, ha? So, nagtatanong ka, tapos sabihin, hindi, ano ka? Siguro, pulahan ka, or gusto mong i-destabilize ang gusto mo lang siraan si ganito or si ganito. Hindi, no? Ito nga yung problem eh. Kasi even if these idols mag-retract sila, somebody will just take their place. Tapos magtutuloy na yun. So imagine, it's very damaging to the self, to families. Kasi nga, sabi nga ni Father Leno kanina, mag-aaway kayo. Kasi magkasalungat na kayo. Kaya nga ginagawa mo na siyang Diyos. Kasi si Jesus lang nagsabi nun eh. O kapag sumunod kayo sa akin, expect na yan. Kasi I have not come here to bring peace but a sword. the world. So I will be really a sign of division. Ngayon, nakikidiyos na rin siya. So, kasi nagdi-divide na kayo. Ayaw mo na sa tatay mo. Kasi hardcore yung airpat mo, ikaw hardcore sa kabila. O iba ka rin, neutral ka, o apolitical ka, o something like that. Nanay mo, iba rin. Tapos, ang ironic dun, isipin nyo for the longest time, sa religious views before, sa political views, walang ganong klase ng away, walang ganitong klase ng away. Marami tayong kilala, ewan ko si Father Lennon, sino ba yun? Meron tayong kaibigan na yung tatay niya Protestant, nanay niya yung Katoliko. Tapos meron ibang religion nga yung parents niya, but you can see na they love each other. As religion has never been an issue. Back then siguro hindi rin natin alam. Political views may differ, but they are there. Pero yun, walang ganitong klase ng conflict. So, let's look at the facts. Let's look at the current context as far as una, the political landscape, second, our religious landscape or socio-cultural landscape are concerned. Let's look at the facts. Idolatry will never do any good to us as persons and as communities. Kasi kung sasabihin natin na it's good to have someone to look up to, hindi rin. Kasi self-actualization will not allow any room for idolatry. Kasi you just have to be yung sa modern parlance, diba? Ewan ko if you will agree, look, no, pero you just have to be the best version of yourself. Sa spirituality, you become what God intends you to be. Or kung sabi nga ni ng Apo Hiking, do. Hindi, kaya ano masabi dyan?
Gusto kong sagutin yung mga tanong ni Luke, no? First, is idolatry always bad? Or is idolatry good or bad? First, siguro kailangan nating i-separate yung terms, no? Idolatry and idolizing or looking up to someone. Looking up to someone. Yung mga normal natin, idol ko si itong artista na to O idol ko tong writer na to. Idol ko si Ricky Gervais kasi nakakatawa siya. That's okay. No? That's normal kasi normal naman sa tayo yung ma-attract no? You're attracted to someone na in a way higher sa'yo kasi you are looking up to that person, no? That's normal. Now, that is not idolatry pa. Idolatry is the bad one. Why? Because again, in our description of idolatry is putting the elements that is only applied to God and you apply it to another creature. So, for example, that God is the only one who can decide what is good and what is wrong. And then now you have this person deciding that, no? Justifying things. And you follow him blindly, no? Yun, idolatry na yun. No, na yung service mo, our life is a life of service to God. And then, ang mission na ng buhay mo ay ikampanya siya, na ipaglaban siya. Diba? Meron pang mga makikita ka na tawag dito na hindi ako mananahimik habang hindi siya naiuwi sa Pilipinas. Diba? Idolatry na yon. Now, when does idol worship begins to be problematic? The moment you worship. The moment. At itong nakakatakot kasi wala na ngayon. Again, tama si Luke, yung explanation ko kanina na biblical ay hindi na ngayon nag-a-apply Kasi nga, walang magsasabi sa'yo na wini-worship ko si Galunggong. O wini-worship ko si Lord Byron, diba? O si San Roque o kung sino man. Walang magsasabi sa iyo noon. Walang magsasabi na they believe in other gods. Maybe some people, no? Niche. Pero Walang magsasabi nun. Why? Because now worshiping false idols is no longer an institutional decision. It's now a personal decision na most of the times we do not really understand, we do not really realize that we are already worshiping another God, a false God. Now, itong idols, ito ako talaga naniniwala talaga ako na everything that we do, or at least the majority that we do in life is always towards the good, no? Or what we think is the good, no? Tatrabaho ka for the good of your family, of yourself, para may makain ka, di ba? Kahit yung mga gumagawa ng krimen, I think they believe really in their hearts na they are doing something good. Kaya nga, di ba, for example, nabanggit kanina ni Russell, what is isa sa mga idolatries ng 19th century, 20th century ay yung communism. Sabi ni Levinas ng philosopher na si Emmanuel Levinas na yung family niya ay pinatay ng mga Nazis. Sabi niya, Nazism is evil. Pero mas evil ang communism, ang Stalinism. Why? Because Nazism is pure evil. Alam nilang evil yung ginagawa nila. But communism is a perversion of the good. Kasi tama eh. Good yung ano nila eh. Yung kinakampanya nila eh. Yung message nila. But they perverted it. That's the false kerigma of communism, kumbaga. Now, I think sa buhay, ganun din. Na we really are gearing towards the good, no? Or at least what we think is the good. So, these false gods, these idols, modern idols, are most of them seems to be the good. For example, worship of the human body. So, you think that the greatest good is the human body. Na kailangan mo yan siya laging i-potentialize. Palakihin ng ito, paslimin ng ganito, ganyan, no? And then, the greatest satisfaction is sexual satisfaction. That's idolatry. And hindi mo mapapansin na idolatry yun kasi nga, you are thinking na it's something good kasi body positivity yun eh. Another thing that you can be idolatrous of, for example, yung mga social justice nating pinaglalaban sa buhay. That's good. No? Paglaban mo yung human rights, paglaban mo yung mga underprivileged, that's good. But you have to really see what are you doing, no? Dun sa activism mo. Yun na lang ba? Dun lang ba umiikot yung buhay mo? Kasi if that is the case and you think that yung pinaglalaban mo yun lang ang nagmamatter sa mundo, then that is already a false god. That is already an idol. Diba? Marami kang makikita ganyan. No? Politika. Okay, wag naman sa Pilipinas. Pare, ayaw ko kay ayaw ko kay Elon Musk, ayaw ko kay Donald Trump. Okay, you are entitled with your opinion, with your political opinion. How do you act? Atakihin mo yung mga Tesla cars, susunugin mo, i-vandalize mo, and then you will justify it as political activism because that is the supreme good. So makakancel na yung evil ng vandalism, ng pagte-terrorize mo doon sa mga nagda-drive lang naman, di ba? Hindi naman sila si Elon Musk talaga. Idolatry na yun, friend. Di ba? And now, we come dito sa mga specific na talaga ng mga tao, no? Na ready ka na.
If I may.
Go.
Idugtong ako na lang din, no? Kasi ang ganda na nung natin nung list, no? Going back to the fundamental, yung working definition na binigay ni Father Lennon. Idolatry is simply replacing God, no? With a false one. Something created by our imagination, something created by our conviction, or something determined by our belief system. Na it may be even a false perception or false understanding of who or what God really is. Bakit yun tinumbo? Kasi still, idolatry falls under the purview of spirituality and religion. So, ay saan napapansin ko dito, boss, or pads pala, and boss
si Luke. Kasi sa Netherlands, hindi daw siya boss eh.
Oo. Pero in hit siya.
Ay, nako, yan tito mo, Russell.
Oo. Ganito, yung bakit ko nabanggit yan? Kasi ngayon, yun nga ang dami sa atin, maski ako siguro, kailangan ko i-check yung sarili ko, baka kasi masyado na ako nababad sa labas ng seminaryo, tapos marami na ako na buong na misconception siguro. Pero ang napapansin ko dito, when we were younger, ito alam ni Luke to, tsaka ni Leonard, kasi busog tayo sa katikisim, alam niyo yun, yung may nagtuturo sa atin at the same time we're studying the catechism. So we have the sense of guidance from somebody. At the same time, we are forming our conscience based on experiences and based on the teachings from people and from the church itself. Kasi catechism is something magisterial, di ba? Anong point ko dito? Alam natin yung mga sins against the first commandment, and part of it is, halimbawa, superstition. Ano pa ba yun, Boss Lu? Kasi yung idolatry kasi, talagang heavy yun eh. Talagang literal. Oo. Of course, di ba? We have sowers of doctrine and piety. Seminator, Doctrine et Pietatis. Siya yung unang nagpunla ng semen kay Luke. Yung seed ng doctrine and piety. Yung seminary, fun fact o trivia, yung seminary comes from the Latin word semen, in seed. Kaya seminary kasi bed seed, seed bed of vocations. No? Kaya pag sinabi mong seminator, parang sower, tagapunla ng semen nga, ng seed. Anyway, nag-digress na naman ako dahil sa comment section. Ano ba sinasabi ko? Ito nga nung bata-bata tayo, pre, meron kasi tayo katekism, no? Busog tayo sa katekism, tsaka may nagtuturo sa atin, pare, katekista. Ngayon, alam natin yung sins against the first commandment, pads Yung idolatry kasi, yun talaga yung pinaka-abomination. Pero may mga may mga other categories din na not necessarily idolatry, pero related din siya doon, tulad ng superstition. Pero yan pa ba? Apostasy nga, in-explain ni Pads kanina, heresy. Bakit siya violation ng first commandment? Kasi yung tendency nga natin na sasabihin natin, hindi Katoliko ako, practicing Catholic ako. Kaso lang, hindi naman masama yan na maniwala ka rin sa ganyan. Kasi nga, at least nga, di ba? At least naniniwala ka pa rin. Diba? Kasi, ito parang ang labas kasi, okay lang yung mga Katoliko kapag goods ang lahat, kapag masagana ang lahat, pag masarap ang lahat, pag masaya ang lahat, okay yan. Pero kapag nagpuna na tayo, tapos medyo niremind natin sila ng actual and yung genuine na Catholic teaching, ay, ang corny nyo naman, ang KJ nyo naman, ang insensitive nyo naman, para naman kayo others. Kasi ano ba nga, yung mga magtatanim ka ng 1,000 ng pera sa bigas sa New Year. Ba? Tataniman nila ng pera. Tapos palilibutan ng 13 bilog na prutas. It will not hurt naman. Di ba? Maglalagay ka ng palay sa pinto. So, hindi siya Catholic teaching, pero superstitious pa nga kasi malas. O kung, halimbawa, Catholic naman, Catholic practice, tapos ginawan mo ng superstitious act, yung palaspas, pakukuluan mo halimbawa tapos iinumin mo kasi may healing properties. So the point here is, gaya ng mga sinabi ni Doc Luke, yung explain ni Father Len, tapos itong mahabang listahan na ng mga possible avenues ng idolatry. Lahat nga babalik kasi siya sa self, no? Sa introspection natin. Are we really trying to live the best life for us? Are we really placing God sa tamang pwesto niya sa buhay natin? And are we aware of our place sa mundo, our place sa society, our place kahit sa sarili natin? So, ang pinaka siguro, in a way, ito closing ko na rin siguro, Pads, kasi dalawang oras na rin tayong nagkakakwento. This is, idolatry is idolatry is a displaced love. Kaya like sin, it's a distorted love. Pero idolatry is a displaced love. That love that we have for something important, something holy, something good, something right, tulad ng justice, for example. Justice, kunin natin example, limbawa yung dahil nga sa itong EJK tapos drugs or whatsoever, yung social order, kasi part ng justice yan Kaya ayaw natin sa addiction kasi it destroys the very fabric of society. It disrupts it disrupts peace, it disrupts order, it disrupts prosperity, everything, no? And here comes yung other value na nagbabangga. The point here is, these are loves, no? Ito ay mga love natin. Pero love ko siya. Hindi. Ito ay mga love natin. Sino? Na tama yung
namimiss mo na,
pero mali yung placement, no? Kasi nakatanim sa tao, nakatanim sa paniniwala, nakatanim sa ideolohiya. Ewan ko, please help me to medyo irrationalize pa, pero parang ganun yung idolatry. May konsepto ka ng Diyos gusto mong sambahin ng Diyos, ibigin siya, mahalin siya, pero meron kang idea niya, tapos yun ang tumatak instead na siya mismo. Ayun yung problema ng yung ancient times nga, na ito, napakilala ng Diyos, nag-reveal na pero gumawa ka pa ng baka, something like that. Ganon din dito. You really want social order, you really want justice to happen, you are really promoting the good, the best, the good, the right, the ethical. Pero mali yung sa maling way, sa maling avenue, sa maling platform. So, instead of the very notion, the very value, dun ka sa idea mo lang, no? So, you have this justice, pero yung idea mo ng justice yung gusto mo. So, parang gano'n. You have this God, you have God Himself as He is, but you have an idea of Him. Kaya, mahal, hindi mo mahal, or mahal mo siya, pero mahal mo pala yung sarili mo na nagmamahal. Parang gano'n. So, it's all a love being displaced. So, sana all mahal. Kaya it's also my way of closing, and para sa suggestion ko, para closing talaga. So, suggestion ko, wala akong practical na suggestion. So, more on, let's just try to look at our idea of autonomy. Kung ang autonomy ba natin ay egotism, na I am the law, or I am the ruler of myself. Parang I rule myself. I am governing myself. Baga, I got myself control, under control. Yun lang, yun sa akin. Thank you, and so sorry, napahaba-haba. I am a flower quickly fading. Mga yan.
Sige. Yes. Yun. Ang gaganda ng mga sinabi ni Father Lennon at saka ni Sir Russell. Regarding do sa sa kung good or bad ba yung idolatry, no? It can either be good or bad, depende sa situation and context. Kung halimbawa ang ina-idolize mo is the divine or si God, ini-imitate mo or gusto mo, ayun nga, yung Imago Dei, gusto mo maging katulad kasi image tayo ng Diyos, gusto mo maging katulad ng Diyos, so good yun. Ang bad is kung gumagawa ng masama or nakakaapekto yung ginagawa ng idol mo. So doon nagiging bad yun. And regarding do sa idol worship, kung problematic ba, idol worship nagiging problematic siya when yung admiration becomes an obsession, no? It can be dangerous, takes on too much importance. Ang nagiging point or focus na nasa-sacrifice na yung relation natin sa kapwa, tulad no sinabi ni Father kanina. And kung yung individual nagiging overly obsessed, no, not possessed, overly obsessed dun sa isang tao, na minsan yung obsession kasi might lead to feelings of distress and or pwede ring mag-encourage ng addictive behaviors, like halimbawa parang spending too much time or money na to the point na wala ka na nga pero ibibigay mo pa para dun sa ina-idol mo. And kung siguro yung ina-idol mo, like parang kung halimbawa isang grupo kayo tapos naikipag-away kayo sa iba na against dun sa leader nyo, or kung halimbawa inaasar-asar yung leader nyo tapos ginamit sa joke tapos pinapatay nyo yung gumamit sa joke. So, yun, problematic na talaga yun. Siguro ang treatment for this unhealthy behavior or cure for idol worship is to develop a habit of introspection, no? Tulad nung sinabi ni Sir Russell kanina, yung self-actualization, na if self-actualize ka na, open-minded ka na on things, and you know how to reflect, reevaluate kung tama pa ba, and nililimit mo na, no? So yun lang.
Siguro as we close this, no, may tinanong si Russell na I think that will be a very good topic para sa next episodes, no, in the future about popular piety. Pero just to address yung dun sa Santo Niño or sa Nazareno, no. First and foremost, we have to realize that people have different expressions of their piety. Yun nga yung popular piety na tinatawag, no. For some, it may seem excessive, na baka bordering na sa idolatry, no. But we cannot really judge. However, it is also true. Kaya nga, katulad nga ng sinasabi namin kanina, good things can also become idols, no, when we excessively put the centrality there that is only reserved to God. So kahit mga devotion pwedeng maging idol. Sir Russell has given us a very good example. Yung idolatry ng sa person ng Santo Papa. The Pope is a very important person sa hierarchy ng simbahan, and also in the magisterium. Very important, no? We as Catholics, we have to be faithful to him. We have to pray for him. Remember, pray for him, hindi ko sinabing pray to him. Pray for him, and also we have to listen, no, and follow yung obedience niya, follow yung teachings niya. But may kasabihan nga kami dito sa Espanya na itong taong to mas papista pa sa Papa. Yan yung parang niluluklok na sa pedestal ang Papa, na parang siya lang ang supreme being na anything na sabihin mo na counting criticism, counting dubia or doubt, no, yun yung sinasabi kanina ni Sir Russell yung doubts, no? So meron kang tanong, hope medyo hindi po malinaw itong para sa akin. Then people will brand you na ano ka, anti-Catholic ka, anti-Pope ka, anti-Pope Francis ka. That's sadly idolatry rin. Okay? So what we are saying is that you have to really take care kasi good things are, especially nowadays, good things are the most likely to become idols, to become false gods. No? It's not necessarily evil things. Good things. And going back, yung sinabi kanina ni Russell, these things are attributes of God. Justice, order, beauty. These are attributes of God. However, if we displace God, tapos ilagay lang natin yung isang attribute, that is idolatry. Yun yung kailangan nating iwasan. Yun yung nakakatakot. And now, going back, siguro napansin niyo in this episode, almost the majority we've talked about, we did not name names, no? Pero alam niyo naman kung sino pinag-uusapan namin eh. And that is also the reason why we recorded this episode kasi parang malala na masyado. Ako talaga naniniwala ko idolatry na yung nangyayari. I mean, if you choose na hindi magsimba para pumunta sa isang prayer rally, dun pa lang. Meron ng dun eh. Kasi why? Again, idolatry is displacing God. God should be the supreme good in your life. If you are treating another person, another good thing as the supreme good in your life, that's idolatry. No? And that is something that we should really be aware of. So, thank you Sir Russell, Doc Luke, no, sa ating usapan dito sa hopefully hindi idolatrous. Ay, go Sir Russell.
Sir Russell ka dyan. Hindi, eto, very very important point from Father Lennon na gusto kong i-emphasize talaga sa atin, especially among you, our dearest friends who are listening, supporting this podcast. Legal is different from moral. So, please be guided accordingly. It does not necessarily mean that something is legal, it is moral. And it does not necessarily follow that if something is morally right, something is good, or something is ethical, siya ay magiging legal agad o legal. Ideally, of course, the way our constitution was framed by the champions themselves, well represented across the country and across all walks of life during 1987, yun yung intent na lahat ng moral ay maging legal. Pero some point, we really have to draw the line, no? Kaya please, wag nating isipin na lahat ay it doesn't necessarily mean talaga na if something is legal, ay yun din yung tamang gawin o yun yung moral, yun yung ethical. It's just a gentle reminder kasi as you can see the landscape that we are in, yun talaga yung namamayagpag. So napag-ano kasi natin pads especially dito sa amin ngayon sa Pinas, madali siya interchange yung word na tama. Kasi dito tama lang kasi, 'di ba? Yung tama, ano ba yung tama? Kung is it tama ba in the sense na legal o tama ba siya na moral or good o mabuti? Yun lang naman. Tapusin ko na yung spiel ni Father. Salamat po sa inyo sa walang sawang pakikinig, especially pag may time kayo. And most especially if you are giving this podcast a chance and a portion of your time. Kasi of course your time is precious. You know very well you can always reach us, and as you can see in Spotify, may mga comment section na dyan, may comment na box pala. Kung medyo shy type kayo, di chat nyo sa amin or send nyo sa Gmail. And of course, kung okay lang, makikisuyo na lang kami since tayo-tayo naman din na nakikinig nito. I-share nyo naman ito. Or yung may website na rin tayo tamangusapanpod.com. Nandun, ina-upload din ni Father yung doon, yung mga episode. So, please feel free to share para one soul at a time, one kababayan at a time, ma-enlighten sa tulong ng hindi namin, sa tulong ng sarili nila, introspecting, sabi nga ng ating very own Doc Luke. So, let us give ourselves this gift, and let us gift, or let us give a gift to our country by being more self-aware and eventually become self-actualized. Kaya ako nandito pa rin kayo. Again, salamat sa inyo and magpapakabait tayo next week. So Holy Week special natin next week. Again, kasama pa rin natin si Doc Luke noon and kasama natin si Brother Francis to reflect with us. Magkakahudasan tayo sa next week sa pang kasi Spy Wednesday yun So yan, sabi nga dito ni Father Lennon according to one of our greatest philosopher theologian, the person of Thomas Aquinas, it is better to illuminate than merely to shine. Si Luke pala nagsabi, sorry. Oo nga pala, si Luke pala to. Sorry. So yun. Thank you. And muli, ito po si Russell.
Ito naman po si Lennon.
At ito naman po si Luke.
At ito ang Tamang Usapan.
Usapang may tama. Bye-bye.
Yeah.